Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a meal prep cook with me. I'm going to be making burrito bowls and taco soup. Ben and I both love Mexican food, like love it. We could eat it all the time, which is why we're eating it all this week. But we especially love spicy Mexican food, so I'm going to be making these recipes pretty spicy. However, if you do not like spicy food very much, and you prefer more mild dishes, then you can modify this depending on your preferences. And it's pretty easy to modify. I'll kind of tell you about it as we go along. But as you can see here, I'm at the store gathering up a few ingredients. I only had a few things at home, so I needed to get quite a bit for the recipes. They really don't take many ingredients, but I still had to get some stuff. And it's all pretty cheap actually, and it took about 30 minutes for both. So as you can see here, it was like $32.08 for all of that stuff, so not too bad. Okay, so here's my little grocery haul. I got 3 pounds of ground beef, some different canned items, some chips, and I had the ranch on hand, I had brown rice on hand, and then I also had the taco seasoning on hand because, as I said earlier, we love Mexican food and can eat it all the time, so we season stuff with taco seasoning a lot. So most of these cans are actually really cheap. And the only reason why I got 2 different kinds of chips is because I love the hint of lime and then Ben loves the regular tortilla chips, so we have to get both pretty much all the time. And if you wanted to save more money, you could also get the not as lean ground beef. I know the leaner the ground beef, the more expensive it is, so you could just go with whatever you prefer or can afford. It will all work just fine. You can also pick a different meat besides ground beef. You can use like ground turkey or shredded up chicken. You can use whatever you have on hand. Okay, so here's a little tip. If you purchase meat in a roll like I do, then you may appreciate this tip. But if you cut the end off and you try to get the meat out, sometimes it's really difficult to get out, especially with one hand. It can really stick. But if you take a pair of scissors and you cut a hole in the end, just a hole, you don't have to completely cut it off, you just cut a hole in it and then you shake it a few times and your meat will come out very easily. So you need 2 pounds of beef for the taco soup, 1 pound of beef for the burrito bowls, and then you'll want to start your rice as well since that takes forever to cook. And then you're going to brown your meat in both pans. I did cook the burrito bowls a lot slower than the taco soup because I was going to have to wait on that rice. And you also want to make sure that you stir your rice occasionally so it doesn't stick. And now my beef for the soup is ready for everything else. So you're going to start adding all of your canned items, and you're going to start with 1 can of black beans, and all of these items are undrained. You put all the juice in there as well. Next, you're going to need a can of pinto beans. And then you're going to need a can of whole corn. And I would recommend to not get the sweet corn. It will make your soup sweet and it will just throw it off a little bit. And then you'll need a can of white hominy, which you can leave this out if you want to. I remember growing up, like, my parents would always leave it out, but I like it. And then you'll also want a can of rotel. We got the hot because we love spice, but you can get the mild or the original, or if those are still too spicy for you, you can just get a can of diced tomatoes and it should work the same. You're also going to need a can of tomato sauce. And then you're going to need 4 cups of water. Instead of just water, you can use chicken or beef broth if you choose to. I just use water. It always turns out tasting really well, full of flavor, so I don't feel the need to add broth. I just add water, but you can do whatever you prefer. And then you're gonna mix your soup up really well, get everything stirred up really good. And then the last items you're going to add is your taco seasoning and your ranch packet. So since we purchased this big container, like it shows you how much would be in one packet of taco seasoning on the back. So that's what I'm referring to here, is that I need 1/4 cup. So I will put in the taco seasoning and my ranch packet. And then you're just gonna stir that in. And make sure that all your powder is dispersed in your soup. And then you're going to turn the heat up and bring your soup to a boil. And then it will just need to simmer for 20 minutes. And then that's it for the soup, it's done. You can serve it with tortilla chips, which is what we got. You can also put cheese or sour cream or whatever you want to put on it. Really, it's really good in general just by itself, but you can also add whatever goodies you want. Okay, and now for the burrito bowls. All you will need for this is the rotel. You'll need some taco seasoning and another can of corn. And as you can see here, I did drain the corn. You don't want all of that juice in your pan. So I'm going to add the corn to the beef first to heat up all the way through. Okay, and now that my corn is heated, I am going to add my taco seasoning. I don't know why I do it this way. I've just always done it this way. I feel like the beef and the corn really picks up the taco flavor better if you add it before you add the rotel with all the moisture. So I just mix this in really well, and then I'll add my rotel. And after everything is mixed together, you're going to add your can of rotel. And just like with the soup, if rotel is too spicy, then you can use just a can of diced tomatoes. And you just want to make sure that they are mixed well with everything and that they are coated with the taco seasoning as well. And last but not least, you're going to add your cooked rice. This is I measured out 1 cup dry and made that, and I feel like that is just like the perfect amount for this amount of ingredients, like the meat and the corn and the rotel. It's just the ratio that we prefer, but you can add less rice if you don't want so much, or you can add more if you want more. So from here, you just mix your rice in together and make sure that everything is pretty even. And then you can taste it and see if you need to add more taco seasoning if you prefer that flavor, or you can add salt, or if it's not spicy enough, you can add some cayenne, or you can put some jalapenos in there, just whatever you want. Just make it taste good to you, and then it's done. So you can put this in your bowls if you're gonna meal prep it, or you can serve it for dinner and top it with, again, just like the taco soup, you can top it with sour cream, jalapenos. I like to put pico on mine. I usually put pico, sour cream, and cheese. Like, that's my go-to there, and sometimes jalapenos if it's not spicy enough. But yeah, so you can top this with whatever you prefer. And I hope you guys enjoyed these recipes. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. I'm going to leave this recipe in the description box so that you can make it at home. And if you do, please leave me a comment and let me know that you made it. Bye guys.